Hello, hey, I'm finally getting around to making my Melodifestivalen vlog slash review that I promised I would make. So the day I'm filming this on Saturday, it was a week today, was the final of Melfest. So it's been a week since it all happened. So I really wanted to get this video done and uploaded and out of the way. So I went to Stockholm for about 5 days, I think it was, like 4 nights. Yeah, 4 nights, 5 days for Melodifestivalen, but also just to go to Stockholm because I've always wanted to go to Stockholm. So it was good to kind of balance out the trip with Melfest and tourism as well. And I'll show you a little bit of that. I did film some footage there that I can show you. This video will be really messy. I think it will be all over the place. This might not be a good video, but I can try and explain everything as much as I can. So I can talk about the atmosphere of Melodifestivalen, and I can talk about other things we did in Stockholm as well. Maybe give a few little travel tips if you're planning on going to Stockholm, not for Melfest, but just in general. So yeah, this might be a bit of a long video, but hopefully it will be worth it. So I do want to, well, I think I should begin just by talking about the outcome of Melfest, the very important historic outcome and winner of Melfest this year. And I've mentioned this a few times, a lot of other people have as well. So I never thought I would go to Melodifestivalen, and it wasn't something that I ever thought I would do. Partly because I'm not going to Eurovision this year, and I have been for the past like 2 years now. So because I'm not going to Basel, I wanted to do something Eurovision related. And the next best thing, it turns out, is going to Melfest. So that's what I did for my big trip this year. But it's just so funny to me how the one year that I decide to go to Melfest is the year that everything changes. Now they're sending something completely different to Eurovision, something completely out of character for Sweden. And it's actually apparently the most voted for Melfest song or Melfest winner of all time in the history of the contest. Like, this is huge. And something a lot of other people have mentioned as well is the fact that this could have potentially changed the entire reputation of Melfest and of Sweden in Eurovision in general. And this is the year that we decided to go and witness all of that. So yeah, we really did pick the perfect year to go to Melfest. And it's just so funny to me, but so cool. If we're looking ahead to Eurovision in May, this could be the televote favourite, the televote winner, the baby lasagna caria of the year. And the fact that that's coming from Sweden, of all countries, we've been asking them for ages to just let go and have fun, send something different. And they actually have this year. This is what they're doing. And yeah, the fact that it's coming from Sweden is just so unexpected and so different for them. And yeah, the hype this is getting. I can talk about the hype that Kai already had at Melfest later on in the video, because the atmosphere for them particularly, you could really feel the excitement for them. So yeah, this is huge. I mean, they could even win Eurovision. Like, honestly, they could. It's looking like that so far, or at least do very, very well again. And I'm always quite critical of Sweden in Eurovision. But this year, I am supportive of Sweden winning yet again. I don't even care that they won it, 2 years ago. This song is just so catchy, so good, and it is my current number one I can confirm that Sweden are my winners so far, and probably will be actually. So yeah, what a perfect outcome to have. It couldn't have been more perfect, really, this national final outcome. It was amazing. So something from the vlog part of the video I would like to show you is, well, I was staying with four other people, four friends of mine, and one of the friends I stayed with was Faith, who I went to semi-final 1 in Malmö with last year. And Faith, she's got her own channel. I'll put that in my description as well. You can watch her videos too. Faith this year was actually doing press. She had media accreditation, we can call it that, or press basically, for Melfest. So she was actually, I was staying with her, but she was really busy throughout the whole week. Every day she was going to the arena to watch rehearsals and interview almost all of the finalists. So she did all of that. She's never done that before, but she was really good and she loved it. And yeah, she was telling us, she'd come back to the apartment and tell us, who was her favourite person to interview, what she thought of the rehearsals, what the show would be like. And there are videos on YouTube of her interviews with, Scarlett, Clara, almost all, Dolly Style, almost all of the finalists she interviewed before the final. So I will put the links to her interviews that she did in this video description below. You can check them out. But I did have my own little interview with Faith, my little informal, not an interview, but a little chat with Faith before, well, it's actually just before we went to the arena, to the final on Saturday, before we left the apartment. I spoke to her about her experience at doing press at Melfest. I'll show you that video right now. Hello, Faith.
Hi.
I'm going to put your YouTube link in my description as well.
Amazing.
So, Melfest is in a few hours, literally. And you've been doing, do we call it press? Or
press media.
Yeah, for the first time. So you've been interviewing, watching rehearsals. Have you got like a highlight from that? Like, which one did you prefer?
I think Scarlett are so good. There's a lot of artists, and then when you see them live, you're like, oh wow, I can see why they qualified. Like, Scarlett were a standout. Clara she's literally flawless, like every single rehearsal. Like, it's quite crazy.
The final is just good anyway, isn't it?
It's a really good final.
We've picked a good year.
It's a really good final.
To Melfest,
lots of variety as well, in like the staging and like the genres. There's lots to enjoy, and it goes quite quickly as well. So we're not like waiting around.
Yeah, and we've got a favourite, haven't we? I think we've all got the same favourite, Kai.
Absolutely.
But we're gonna film like, if I'm sat by you, I might not be sat by you, but we're going to film like a live reaction to the
yeah.
So it might be disappointing first, but it's either Måns or Kai.
It's Måns, and that's what kind of Swedish media have like picked up on as well. It's not just like a Euro fan thing. It's like, no, this is a thing, because all the press, like especially like SVT press and stuff, they go straight to Kai. Like, Kai's queue is always like huge, because they want to interview like the televote favourite.
There's been a lot of like interviews on like TV and stuff, isn't there?
Yeah. They've had a lot of coverage, and me and Tom got interviewed by someone from like a Swedish newspaper, and she said like, oh, how do you feel about what do you think? How do you feel about like if Kai won? And she mentioned how like, it's kind of the general consensus is it would change Melfest forever, because it will show like you don't have to send like a typical Melfest song, like, because all the artists and everyone in Sweden is very self-aware that if you want to do well in Melfest, typically you have to send something kind of Swedish pop. Usually it's really rare they deviate from that. So if Kai win, it's like, wow, like this, it encourages more kind of diverse entries.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's done that anyway, even if they don't win.
Yeah, I feel like if they come second,
that could happen.
Yeah, because it will show you like people do like songs that aren't in English, and they did not even in Swedish, because it's a Swedish Finnish dialect. Yeah. It's really, really exciting.
Can't wait.
Because Mons is good.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen, when I watched the rehearsals live on Thursday, they performed in like a random order.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. They didn't perform in the order they're performing in tonight. So Mons was a standout, but I don't think he's as much. I mean, maybe this is just live. I don't think he's as much of a standout as people think he is. But I think I think he has the name, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's more of like a TV, like visual performance, isn't it?
And Clara's is really good for that as well. Clara's is gorgeous, and she's flawless. It's gonna be close.
We'll have a good time anyway.
Yeah, because I think the worry is that Mons has a very big televote pull as well. Like, I mean, because we know he's going to do well with the jury, and then he's also he's probably going to come second in the televote. But then it's like, how's Kai going to do in the jury?
Yeah.
And
then who wins in the end?
Yeah.
How does that work? Yeah. So do you think you would go back to Melfest and do press again, or like?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's all like a money thing, so I don't get paid, so like I'd happily do Melfest again, and it's really, I really want to do other national finals too, potentially, but definitely. I mean, I've got like my whole life ahead of me, so, so I can do many. I'd love to. We
can do some more national finals.
I'd love to do it at Eurovision one day as well, maybe, but it's quite full on. I haven't had a lot of time to relax, like, because Laura knows I'm like in and out all the time, and then I get like no sleep. It's like bus, club, never club, bus.
Okay, so where can we find your interviews that you've done?
So I work for ESC Extra. ESCXTRA. So they're all on the channel. They'll probably be uploaded on the website as well. So just find the socials, and it was really, really fun to interview, and I'm excited.
I can't wait. We better go and get ready, actually, because we're going in like 2 hours. Yeah, thanks, Faith.
Bye.
We'll see you later. So Faith mentioned in that video about how Kai winning has changed Melfest forever. I think we can all agree with that. It's really exciting. We picked such a good year to go, honestly. But I would say going to the final of Melfest is just like going to Eurovision. It feels like you're watching a mini Eurovision production. It really is. It's in this huge football stadium called, well, it keeps changing the name. It's called the Strawberry Arena now, but it was like the Friends Arena a few years ago. It keeps changing the name all the time. But it's a massive stadium, and they don't even use the whole stadium for Melfest. They cut it down a bit, but it really is a big crowd. And we did have quite a good view, actually. We had good seats. There is a video on my channel of footage I took in the arena of the performances, so I won't show you that now, but you can watch that on my channel if you like, in your own time. But we had a good view. It's just like Eurovision, but just like a bit shorter, which is good. It doesn't drag on for too long, like Eurovision sometimes can drag on for about 4 hours. There were so many international fans, like, it really is. It feels like a big international event. There were a lot of British fans. We were not the only British people there at all. So many UK Eurovision fans went there. And I think they do every year, actually. So it is a really big event. Lots of families, people of all ages. Really good atmosphere, especially, like I said before, for Kai. That was the big favourite that everyone was rooting for. Lots of Finnish flags in the audience, in the arena as well, because Kai are from Finland. So lots of Finnish supporters in the arena, so that was great to see. And I mean, obviously Mark Zemelov was another big favourite as well, you know, the big name coming back. But I mean, he had like a good reaction from the crowd, but you could tell that the audience were there for Kai, like the support was there mainly for Kai. Like you could really feel that. That was very obvious, you know, as soon as they performed. They were on last in the running order as well. Everyone, you know, got to their feet. They were really excited. And you know what, actually, I've mentioned this to a few people, people who were there with me, and I think people might agree with me as well about this. So the atmosphere and the support and hype for Kai, for this one song, actually made me think a little bit about Karia in Liverpool, like the reaction that he got in Liverpool. There's something about this that made me, it reminded me of that, it really did. It's like Cha 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 Part 2, you know, for this one song. So, yeah, you know, in terms of, like I said, about results in Basel, they could really be onto something here. Something that really surprised me, something that was really unexpected in a really good way, was how well Kai did with the jury. I don't think anyone expected them to do that well in the jury. I think people thought, oh, Mongs will win because he'll win the jury by a mile, and then Kai will win the televote, but Mongs will win because he'll do well in the televote as well. And it was really close in the end, but to see Kai getting a lot of 12 points from the jury was just not what we expected. And when that was happening, you could just tell, like, oh wow, I think they're going to win. Like, they're doing this well in the jury. They came second, I think, in the jury vote, and they're going to win the televote. So they are going to win. So that was such an exciting moment when you realised that they are actually about to win this whole thing.
10 poeng til Revolution. Strawberry Arena, dere klare for å skru opp temperaturen til maks?
And then, of course, you had that televote and the huge celebration of the televote. I was a bit confused at first because I don't really understand the voting system at Melfest. Like in Eurovision, you get like 300, even like 400 points. So I didn't know that 90 was like a high score for a televote at Melfest. So when they got 90, I thought, oh no, that's really low. That's not good. But actually, it was good enough. So yeah, and I uploaded the video, the reaction video of me and Faith reacting to the televote results, which has become a little bit of like an annual tradition now, reacting to results in arenas like that. And that video is so it's so much fun to watch, and a lot of people are really enjoying that reaction video. So yeah, I've watched it back myself quite a lot of times, but you can see at the end how I was confused because I didn't realise who had won, because Mongs was clapping and cheering and looking around, and then Kai didn't like react for a few seconds, so I didn't know, looking at the screen, who the winner actually was for like a split second. So yeah, and then when you realise, it was like just an eruption from the crowd. So yeah, that was a really fun moment.
It looks like Mars feels. It looks like he's accepted defeat, but I don't know.
81!
If you're maybe thinking or planning on going to Melfest yourself, there are other events that are going on the weekend of the final. So they have a Melfest pre-party and after party actually in the same venue. So there's a pre-party on the Friday night, the night before the final, and they have performances from, well, some of them are Melfest artists that didn't make it to the final. I can't remember exactly who they were. I think they might have been from semi-finals that I didn't really watch. They also had Maria Sir, who was in it last year and the year before, I think. And they also had Jerry Hale. And from this year, for Eurovision this year, they had Emmy from Ireland, Kyle from Norway, and Cecile from Denmark. So they were the three artists from this year that performed at the pre-party. And there is a video, a little compilation video of that on my channel as well. And then there is a after party immediately after the final on Saturday night. So we just got the train back from the arena straight to the after party. And there were a few more performances there, but not quite as many as Friday. But yeah, you know, it's worth it, you know, if you're thinking of making a whole event out of it. I know also they did have these performances and meet and greets in the big shopping mall, which is right by the arena. They have got stuff going on there as well throughout the week, which we didn't go to, but yeah, there was a lot going on, which again makes me think that it feels like you're attending actual Eurovision. So it's really good, you know, there's a lot going on, it's really worth it. Now, I have mentioned in other videos before that while I was away in Stockholm, there were reaction videos that I couldn't do. There were a lot of songs that week that came out, like Austria, Czechia, the UK entry, San Marino, a few others as well that I just couldn't do videos for. But obviously I did catch up with them in my own time afterwards, or I just listened to them at the time and just didn't make a video for them. But for the UK entry, which came out on the first full day that we were there, I think it was the Thursday or the Friday it came out, we did do like a little listening party to it in the apartment. So I did hear the UK song as a group. I can talk about that in another video another time, but yeah, no reaction videos, but at least we got to experience the UK entry together. Oh, I can't wait for this. Okay.
You will in 3 minutes.
God.
Right. Ready?
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is quite chaperone, actually. It is like Pink Pony
Pink Pony Club, yeah. Yeah.
Power ballad, chaperone, Pink Pony Club. I'm not getting musical theatre.
No,
Oh, actually,
I didn't.
no, maybe I am. Am I?
I think
Not
it's
as
just,
much as I thought
yeah,
I would.
same.
Yeah.
I think lyrics give musical fit to that storytelling.
Oh, it is kind of musical theatre.
Yeah. No, voices as well, you can tell there.
I mean, the voices are good.
Yeah, the
Like, they
harmonies
sound
are really
good.
nice. Yeah, they sound great.
Okay, I don't hate it, to be fair. It's okay.
I don't think we've had that the past few years.
Yeah.
But then the chorus is kind of boring. Like, it's just like the same thing.
I think
Doesn't,
that
like, go
helps
anywhere.
it though. I don't know. It
Yeah,
makes it
true. You don't want to
catchier,
put loads of
overcompensate,
different
when the
things
verses
in.
are quite full on.
Yeah.
But it's different, though. That's it. Okay.
Oh.
Hello, everyone. So we have arrived in Stockholm last night. And I have to show you this apartment. The view, first of all. Look at that. I love that. That's so cool. Everything's so yellow here. Like, like the subway stations are yellow and blue. The buildings are yellow. I love it. So now I can talk to you a little bit about other things that we did in Stockholm and maybe give you some ideas and inspiration if you're thinking of planning a trip Stockholm, which I really recommend, regardless of Melfest, you know, regardless of anything Eurovision related, just to go there. It's a really lovely city to visit and a lot to do. There is a lot to do and see. We were really lucky with the weather. So the sun was shining every single day, like literally every day, no rain. It was cold, you know, fairly cold, but not freezing cold. You know, that time of year it could be snow on the ground, but there wasn't. We just picked, again, a really good time to go to Stockholm. We were perfect, you know, really perfectly lucky with the weather. So that was really nice to walk around and watch the sunset in the evening. A lot of walking involved. Of course, we had to see the Gamla Stan and the famous old town of Stockholm. So there is a lot to walk around, but obviously public transport is really useful. And we did use a lot of that, lots of trips on the metro. And a tip I could give you, a little travel tip if you're thinking of going to Stockholm, is the public transport ticket that you can buy, not just a single ticket, but a ticket that covers like multiple visits. So you can get like a single ticket, or you can get a multi ticket that can cover all types of public transport. So the metro, the trains, the tram, all types of transport in just one ticket. And you can get a 24-hour ticket, 72 hours, or weekly. So nothing in between 3 days and 7 days. But I think we did the 72-hour all-round ticket, and that covered us for most of it. So that's really worth it. Can't remember how much it was in terms of British pounds, probably like £40 or something, which was worth it considering how much we were using the metro and public transport in general. So there are a lot of museums in Stockholm. No time to go to all of them, of course, but the ones that we really wanted to go to, we did go to. And one museum that you really must go to if you go to Stockholm is the Vasa ship. And it's actually, I think it's one of the most popular museums in the whole of Scandinavia, not just in Sweden. It really is like a must-see attraction. So, but you might have heard of it anyway, but basically this ship called the Vasa sank in 1628. I'm sure that's the year, I always remember that date, the year that it sank in 1628 on its maiden voyage, literally a few minutes after leaving Stockholm harbour. Bit embarrassing, really. You know, on its maiden voyage, and then it just sank close to the shore. And then it was lying at the bottom of the sea for 300 years. And then in the 1960s, they just brought the whole ship back up almost perfectly as it was. And it's the most fully preserved 17th century ship in the world that you can now actually see with your own eyes. So it's in a big room, almost completely preserved, just as it was in the 1600s. You can walk around it, walk above it, look like into it. There's exhibitions on each floor that you can look at, and it tells you the story of what the ship was and how they found it. So yeah, that is something that you must do if you go to Stockholm. We also went on the day of the final to get into the mood for Melfest to the ABBA Museum, which is actually in the same area as the Vasa and a lot of other museums as well. It's like one particular island where a lot of the museums are all together in the same place, so that's very handy. Yeah, the ABBA Museum is probably another one of those things that you feel like you have to do when you're in Stockholm. So that's really good too, very interactive. They've got the costume, a lot of costumes that they wore. Well, the Waterloo costumes are there, but I also saw them in Malmö last year because in Malmö they brought them out of the Stockholm Museum and put them in this little pop-up exhibition in Malmö, especially for Eurovision. So I've seen them already, but they've also got their Eurovision trophy or like medal from 1974. A lot of other costumes that they've worn on tour throughout the years, a lot of memorabilia. Yeah, it's very interactive and fun museum, and it is, it is worth it, even if you're not like a massive fan of ABBA. It's one of those things that you feel like you should probably do when you're in Stockholm.
We love you, Club Tropical!
We also went to, on the Thursday night, which was the first full day that we were there, we went to a Viking restaurant, a Viking-themed restaurant, not far from the Gamla Stan area, right in the middle. It was called, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Eifur or Eifur. It's spelled Aifur. So if you Google Eifur Viking restaurant, you'll find the website. There's probably a few other Viking-themed restaurants like that in Stockholm. I know there's quite a lot in Iceland as well, but this is quite like a famous one, I think, so it might be the only one. But that was a lot of fun. It's basically like you step back in time to this Viking-themed tavern. It's like you're actually in like a proper Viking pub, and the staff are all dressed up in Viking costumes, and the food is meant to be like Viking themed, kind of. Some of it was quite unusual food, but I managed to find something that was basic enough for me, just like chicken and something else. And they give you this like welcome to everyone that walks in. They ask you like where you're from, and they like announce your arrival to the whole restaurant in front of everyone. So yeah, that was fun. I have got a TikTok video of that, but I can show you the introduction that we had in this short video.
People of the hall, are you having a good time? Are you ready to welcome more guests? Perfect. We've got visitors from the colonies. This is from just north of London, Portsmouth and Wales. Let's welcome Sophie, Faith, Jacob II, Laura, and Alice.
So I'm really glad that I went to Stockholm and to Melodifestivalen. I've ticked it off the bucket list. I would love to go back to Stockholm though, to do things that I didn't do the first time. It is a really big city by the looks of it, and I knew I would like it because I've always wanted to go there for a while now, so I'm glad that it's being ticked off the bucket list. But I would like to return at some point. I don't know if I go back to Melfest again. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but maybe not like immediately so soon after, not like next year or anything, but maybe in the future. And if Sweden win and it goes back to Stockholm for Eurovision, then I will go again next year, definitely. I forgot to say, actually, my other favourites in Melfest this year, apart from Kai were definitely my favourite, my overall winner. But there were other songs that I liked. Mira Omar, Hush Hush, Dolly Style, really liked them. Clara, loved her song. Even like Eric, Scarlett, grew on me over time. So yeah, it was a really good final. Everyone was good in their own way, you know, 12 songs, all different. It was a really strong final, I thought, with a very strong winner. And now we get to see how well they will do in Eurovision, which I think will do very, very well. So there we go. I think I will stop talking now. Thank you for watching this very long, probably quite messy video. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have about Melodifestivalen or Stockholm in general. But yeah, I'm really glad I went. It was a really, really good experience with brilliant company. Yeah, good vibes all round. I loved it. So yeah, tack så mycket for watching. The Swedish I remember mostly is hey hey for hello, tack or tack så mycket, thank you. I can't remember much else though, to be honest, but that's the basic things that you need to know. So yeah, thank you for watching my long vlog, and I will get back to my normal videos now. So until then, goodbye.